The Japanese soldiers stuffed a Chinese man into a sack. Then they poured gasoline all over it. They struck a match and set the sack on fire. The cries from inside grew louder and sharper. Yet the soldiers still weren't done with him. They tied a grenade to the sack and kicked it into the river. To harden new recruits, they chained Chinese to poles. Then they forced the rookies to practice killing them. Jack watched his mother get stabbed with a bayonet. His scream tore through the air but woke no humanity in the soldiers. They chained rows of prisoners together like cattle, and then opened fire with a machine gun. Jack was lucky enough to dodge every bullet. His eyes burned with rage as he stared at the killers. Just as the soldiers moved to finish him off, a tank smashed through the wall and gunned them all down. Jack was dragged to safety by Soviet troops. The Soviets planned to take him back to base, but the driver got lost and rolled straight into a Japanese camp. The armor could take bullets, but wave after wave kept hammering it. Soon only Jack, a Soviet woman soldier, and the driver were left alive. They fled toward a bridge and spotted a checkpoint at the far end. The driver grabbed his gun and crept closer. A grenade suddenly landed at his feet. He hit the ground fast, but it never went off. The pin hadn't been pulled. He stormed the checkpoint ready to shoot. Inside were two Japanese schoolgirls. One swallowed poison the moment she saw them. The other froze in terror, unable to do the same. The driver raised his gun to finish her on the spot, but the woman soldier stopped him cold. She believed the girl could lead them out alive. They tied her up and dragged her through the woods. Soon they reached a wide grassy field. But what they didn't know, the schoolgirl had already led them straight into a minefield. Luckily, one of them sensed something was off. He slapped her across the face in rage, then got down to clear the mines himself. Everything seemed to be going fine. He waved for the others to follow, but just then, he was blown to pieces. The female soldier was furious. She turned her machine gun on the girl, forced her to walk ahead and clear the path. She and the Chinese Jack followed close behind, but the Japanese army was closing. Jack quickly covered the girl's mouth, hoping the soldiers would pass by. It worked for a moment, but then Jack realized the girl had gone completely still, and just when he let his guard down, she screamed to give away their position. But just then, an eagle flew overhead. The Japanese soldiers thought it was the bird and moved on. The female soldier handed Jack a bayonet, told him to kill the girl. He remembered how he'd watched his mother die by a Japanese blade. Just one stab, and he'd have his revenge. But Jack couldn't do it. He didn't want to become a monster like them. So instead, he tied the girl to a tree and left her behind. But later, while escaping, he saw animal bones scattered in the forest, and realized there were predators out here. He pictured the girl, still tied up and helpless, and he turned back to save her. That night, she stared at their machine gun, hearing her commander's speech echo in her head. He had painted all enemies as invaders. Her classmates had been fired up to fight for their country. As she quietly plotted how to kill the two people, the female soldier handed her a box of food. They kept moving together through the wilderness, crossing a narrow bridge over a swamp. The girl slipped and fell into the muck. Jack tried to pull her up with his gun, but the gun slipped from his hand and landed right in hers.